my name is Caitlin, and I'm a part of Group B, and we will be giving the case response to the Mountain Man beer case study. Group B, we have Derek, Todd, myself, Scott, Kyle, and Alicia. So first, I just wanted to talk about our response to the Group A presentation. We do agree with them that a light beer should be launched, and that they should do so without alienating their current customer base. However, our marketing strategy is a little bit more bullish, and Todd will go into that in a little bit more detail in the upcoming slides. We also recommend that the light initiatives will be better approached when the light segment moves past this proof of concept phase, meaning that after they get the beer out onto the market, then they can go back and look into ways to improve their processing to reduce costs and implement these new lean initiatives. One other thing that we really wanted to get into with our marketing strategy was going after the female customer segments. And that gets into our recommendation, which would be to launch what we call Mountain Light, a new light beer, which would attract young adult and female customers. We want to do this though while still maintaining the regional appeal that is already in Mountain Man Lager. So when it comes to SWOT, I won't go into much detail because I know you've seen this for the Group A presentation, but I did just want to hit on some of these that really played into our overall marketing strategy. From a strengths perspective, the company already has this customer loyalty and strong brand recognition within the region. They also have a great experience when it comes to manufacturing beer already. But from a weakness perspective, they have this inexperience in launching new products. They also don't have an ad budget that is comparable to the national brands, and they're already losing customers to competitors. But I think that leads to a lot of opportunities, one of which is this opportunity for increased revenue and improved brand awareness across the different markets. One of the biggest things here, which really led into our marketing strategy, is the future potential growth and increased market share when it comes to creating loyal customers out of not only the younger drinkers, but also out of the female customers. From a threats perspective, they have this continued growth of competitors and also introduction of new competing products into the market. They also have to deal with the shifting consumer preferences that are happening right now as they shift towards more of a light beer. And in using all of this information, we created our marketing strategy, and I'm going to pass this over to Todd, who is going to go into that in a little bit more detail.
Thank you, Caitlin. Now I'm going to go more and talk more in detail about the marketing strategy. As you know from the case, Mountain Man Brewing Company has a pretty loyal following of blue-collar individuals that are looking for a beer that's above average in terms of quality and more cost-effective than some of the microbreweries might offer. And our goal with the new beer, Mountain Light, is to attract young adult and female market segments. So we don't want to alienate current customers, and this is something that in the case the opinionated individuals, or the individuals offering opinion, didn't really believe you could do the same. But we don't agree with that. What we would work to do in terms of marketing strategy is create one cohesive brand, build out some brand pillars that allow us to speak to all customer segments while reinforcing the brand that we've already got. So, local, handmade, storied, affordable. So not too expensive, but relatively higher quality. Something that is storied in terms of being, having somebody's kids or parents or grandparents drinking the same beer. We are West Virginia's beer, as the case suggests. So we don't want to alienate those customers. So maintain the appeal of current customers, building out the same brand pillars or just reinforcing them while attracting new customers by leveraging some things that would allow us to target, the new young adult and female population. So in terms of production, leverage existing capacity to introduce a new product efficiently, avoid costly setbacks and turn a profit. Really focus on turning a profit within 2 years, and then work to capture market share within that 2-year time frame and beyond. Really understand what our market share or potential market share could be, and then down the road focus on efficiencies of scale and creating more efficient or more effective processes for producing the Mountain Light. In terms of the tactics to accomplish our marketing strategy, what we look to do is, in addition to building out those brand pillars, would be to create a cost structure similar to Mountain Man Lager that is affordable, yet above average in terms of quality. It's slightly better than your run-of-the-mill light beer. And then in terms of where we would focus on growing sales would be markets that aren't too far outside of our comfort zone. So through our analyses, what we found was Illinois and Ohio, two markets that are very close to home, but also with significant populations of beer drinkers and significant potential for future growth. And then we would focus on strategically selecting advertising to attract and retain current customers. So create that consistent messaging and build customer loyalty for all of our customers and reinforcing the brand. And young adults maybe focus more on social media, and with females work to identify the best advertising to target them specifically or speak to them specifically, without inconveniencing them and turning them into loyal customers. But those are the marketing tactics, and now Scott's going to talk more about the financials. Thank you.
Our financial projections and break-even analysis highlight two vastly different scenarios. In the first scenario, we assume no cannibalization between the light beer and the existing lager. This assumption is based off of our marketing tactics targeting a new customer base between young adults and females for the light beer. We project that in the first year, our revenue break-even point will be just over $6 million, which will drastically decrease going into the second year as our overhead costs for implementing the new product line decrease. In the worst case scenario, we highlight the risk that can be incurred through cannibalization between the brands if our marketing tactics are not properly implemented. And then the following slide will highlight the management controls and implementation plan for the first year to drive towards the best case scenario financial projections. We've broken down this course of action between the first 4 quarters of the first year. By ramping up our promotional budget and driving towards the holiday season, we allow for production to keep up and slowly ramp up their output, and then drive towards sales numbers increasing incrementally, driving into the fourth quarter. If this plan is followed and management's able to hold to these numbers and drive towards a strong fourth quarter, we'll be able to achieve our break-even point and start building profit into the brand within the first year. Going forward, we'd like to address some management concerns which have been brought up within this case. The first is the erosion of brand equity and the degradation of the loyalty of the base, which has been loyal to the brand since its inception. There are two different factors that play into this. The first is that the current base is aging and slowly over time going to be aging out of the market. We plan to mitigate this risk by targeting a new base in the young adults with a new product line, which will help diversify the brand over time and overall make the company healthier. In addition, the new product line will allow the company to expand into new markets, both geographically as well as the already highlighted age markets. Through broadening geographic markets and developing across different business platforms, we can increase the brand equity. In addition, sales cannibalization between the existing lager and Mountain Man Light have been highlighted as a concern. And this concern will be mitigated by targeting a diversified set of consumers, which will grow not only the brand equity, but also will allow the company to absorb some of the risk and grow to compete in new markets moving forward. Finally, the high expense to launch a new brand is a concern that has to be addressed. However, both financial and historical analysis has proven to us that the expense to the company to not launch a new brand will be the degradation of the current brand over time, the diminishing return of the market, and overall company failure once we reach the tipping point.